It's a pleasure to have you here with us on TV Sapienza News Hour. I am Oluchi Ojo-Bamidele. Let's hit you with our news headlines. Starting, the federal government has designated 154 health facilities across Nigeria to provide free treatment for women with obstetric complications. And in China says today it would hit tariffs on Canadian products, including rapeseed oil and pork, after a Beijing probe into levies imposed by Ottawa on Chinese goods last year. In the latest FIFA Women's World Rankings, the Super Falcons of Nigeria have successfully maintained its position as the leading team in Africa and have secured the 36th spot in the global rankings. The full details of the news. Starting with Anambra State, where the state governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has urged the Southeast Development Commission to focus on achieving tangible results. Professor Soludo called on the commission to avoid bureaucracy and policies that would hinder the smooth running of the commission, but to focus on achieving tangible results by ensuring the commission remains committed to its core development goals. The governor stated this on Friday while receiving a delegation from the Southeast Development Commission led by its chairman, Chief Emeka Wogo, and Managing Director Mark Okoye. According to him, the commission can channel its resources and energy towards achieving a specific goal rather than spreading itself too thin across multiple objectives. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed a former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor Atahiru Jega, as a special advisor and coordinator of the presidential livestock reform. Disclosing this in a statement by the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on Friday night, the president hoped to drive meaningful progress in the livestock sector and further strengthen national development efforts. According to the statement, his appointment as special advisor to the president, Tinubu, will reinforce the gains of the presidential committee and ensure the continued momentum of the reforms already in motion. It will be noted that Jega co-chaired the Presidential Livestock Committee with President Tinubu, and the committee delivered comprehensive recommendations that underscored sustainable livestock reforms. The federal government says it will intervene in the leadership crisis on the National Assembly after the suspension of the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Boti Uduagan. The Minister of Women Affairs, Mrs. Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, who revealed this to State House correspondents during the Meet the Press program at the Presidential Villa Abuja, said they are engaging all the stakeholders to ensure that they temper justice with mercy. Her comment came barely 24 hours after the 10th Senate suspended Natasha for 6 months after submitting a petition alleged she has been sexually harassed by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. Reacting to this development, the Women Affairs Minister said it is an unfortunate incident that should not happen, adding that they will engage all the stakeholders to ensure that everything is sorted out. Meanwhile, some women groups on Friday rejected the suspension of Natasha, describing it as an assault on democracy and a deliberate attempt to silence women in leadership. The coalition threatened to mobilize women for a massive protest if the decision is not reversed. In Edo State, the government has intensified its crackdown on individuals aiding kidnappers as the state task force demolished another property linked to criminal activities in the state. The latest demolition took place in Eshioriri area, Owa East local government area of the state, targeting the home of an elderly accused of acting as an informant for kidnappers operating in Owan and Esan Forest. The suspect, identified as Karimu Audu, is alleged to have provided critical information to suspected kidnappers who stayed them overnight and supplied them with food. Villagers, speaking anonymously, claimed that those who opposed his actions had either mysteriously disappeared or faced violent attacks on their farms. Addressing journalists at the scene, the special advisor to the governor on security affairs, Mr. Kere Paul, emphasized the government's zero tolerance for kidnapping in the state. Also, the commander of the Edo State Task Force, Michael Aneto, reaffirmed the administration's commitment to eradicating kidnapping. However, Audu denied the allegation, insisting that his dealings with herders were legitimate and in line with his role within the community. The federal government has designated 154 health facilities across Nigeria to provide free treatment for women with obstetric complications. These facilities will cater for women experiencing health challenges during pregnancy, labor, delivery, or the postpartum period, which could affect the well-being of both mother and baby. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, announced this on Friday during an interview on Channel Television's Politics Today. He stated that the selected facilities have adequate manpower, high standards, and modern equipment to deliver quality care. According to him, the government has identified 18 centers nationwide for free treatment of vesico-vaginal fistula, a childbirth-related conditions. Professor Pate disclosed that the reason behind federal government support for women with complications in pregnancy, which includes free cesarean sections, is because the health and well-being of Nigerians are fundamental to President Bola Tinubu's vision for Nigeria. He said that with this in mind, the president has made it a priority to reduce the number of deaths associated with obstetric complications by ensuring that no woman dies because she cannot afford cesarean section or other such treatments. In Rivers State, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has challenged the Minister of Federal Capital Territory in Nyesom Wike by establishing a caretaker committee in the South-South geopolitical zone. In a statement issued yesterday by its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Oluguagba, the PDP explained that the decision by the National Working Committee was based on the need to prevent any leadership vacuum and ensure the continued smooth operation of the party in the zone after the expiration of the zonal executive's tenure on March 9, 2025. The Rivers State High Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, had restrained the PDP and the National Vice Chairman of the South-South, Dan Obi, from holding the zonal Congress. However, despite the court ruling, the party proceeded with the Congress in Calabar, Cross River State. But Wike, who supported and attended the Congress, called the South-South the PDP's strongest base, insisting that no other Congress will be held in the region. Disregarding Wike's stance, the Omar Damagu-led NWC appointed Ima Ogidi as chairman of the caretaker committee for the zone. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu has turned down a 942 billion naira proposal by the National Population Commission for the conduct of the National Housing and Population Census. Reliable sources present at the discussion between Tinubu and the Commission and the Commission's top officials at the State House revealed that the President insisted on cost-cutting measures. According to the insiders, the President suggested the deployment of members of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) for the exercise. After being briefed by officials of the NPC, led by its chairman Nasir Okwara, Tinubu promised to set up a committee to align the census budget to the government's present financial realities. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, in a statement, said the President told the NPC delegation that biometric capturing should be central to the process, with multiple identification features, including facial and voice recognition, affirming that the National Identity Management Commission must be part of the review. Meanwhile, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, said the Commission and everyone on the team needs to agree on the minimum amount that could be sourced to support the President in making the final decision. In his presentation, NPC chairman noted that 760,000 tablets had been acquired and stored with the Central Bank of Nigeria, assuring the Commission would engage with development partners to seek support whenever President Tinubu proclaimed the new census. On International Women's Day today, the Nigerian's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has acknowledged the significant contribution of women to the nation's development. The First Lady emphasized that women have played a crucial role in various sectors, advancing the country's growth and progress. She made the remark in an interview with State House correspondents in commemoration of the 2025 International Women's Day today. Mrs. Tinubu urged women not to relent in their efforts to achieve their dreams. According to her, women have come a long way, even from the entire metrics of old, and have contributed and up to now insisted that women are doing phenomenal things. The First Lady added that she believes that Nigerian youth have what it takes to achieve greatness. Thank you for being there with us on TV Sapienza. Still on the news, aid operations in Burundi are reaching breaking point as thousands of refugees pour in from the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, fleeing intensifying violence. Under a month, nearly 63,000 people have crossed into Burundi, marking the largest refugee surge in decades. On March 5 alone, over 1,100 refugees arrived, with hundreds still entering Delhi through multiple border points. According to reports, 45,000 refugees are packed into a stadium in Rugombo near the DRC border, far exceeding its capacity, many sleeping in open fields due to lack of space. The Wunse refugee site in the south, designed for 10,000 people, is already 60% full, with emergency shelters struggling to meet demand. Women and children as well lack necessities, particularly shelter, food, and medical care. Burundi, like many neighboring countries, is facing severe funding shortages for refugee aid. Without immediate international support, the crisis will worsen, putting thousands of lives at risk. Still on the foreign scene, China says today it would hit tariffs on Canadian products, including rapeseed oil and pork, after a Beijing probe into levies imposed by Ottawa on Chinese goods last year. Beijing's Commerce Ministry said it would hit imported rapeseed oil, oil cakes and peas from Canada with a 100% tariff. Beijing said the measures will come into effect on March 20. Ottawa last August placed 100% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles imports, matching U.S. measures seeking to fend off a flood of Chinese state-subsidized cars into North America. It also announced a short tax on imports of steel and aluminum products from China. However, Beijing's Commerce Ministry said a probe into those measures found that Canadian policies disrupted the normal trade order and harmed the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese enterprises. China urged Canada to immediately correct its bad practices, lift its restrictive measures, and eliminate its negative effect, a ministry spokesperson said. The first tariff comes as both Canada and China face deepening trade tensions with the United States, which under President Donald Trump has launched hurting new tariffs. And now on sports. In the latest FIFA Women's World Rankings, the Super Falcons of Nigeria have successfully maintained its position as the leading team in Africa and have secured the 36th spot in the global rankings. The 9-time African champions have consistently held the 36th position since March 2024, maintaining the same ranking in June, August, and December. This first ranking of 2025 sees the Super Falcons holding steady, maintaining 1,622 points while reclaiming its position as Africa's top team. Still on sports, the 13th edition of the ECOWAS African Wrestling Tournament had been declared open and is officially underway in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, marking the 50th anniversary of ECOWAS as an instrument of regional unity and collaboration. Speaking at the opening ceremony held at the MKO Abiola National Stadium in Abuja, the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, said the tournament is a testament of the region's collective commitment to promoting cultural ties and strengthening the bonds that unite West Africans, which is a scene of pride for Africans. According to Diko, Nigeria is proud to host the prestigious event while reaffirming its commitment to the promotion and development of traditional sports. And this is where we wrap it up on the news, but before we leave, a reminder of our headlines. The federal government has designated 154 health facilities across Nigeria to provide free treatment for women with obstetric complications. China says today it would hit tariffs on Canadian products, including rapeseed oil and pork, after a Beijing probe into levies imposed by Ottawa on Chinese goods last year. And in the latest FIFA Women's World Rankings, the Super Falcons of Nigeria have successfully maintained its position as the leading team in Africa and have secured the 36th spot in the global rankings. On behalf of the technical and editorial crew, on this news at 1 p.m. at TV Sapientia, I am Oluchi Ojo-Bamidele. Thanks for being here with us on TV Sapientia. Do have a beautiful Saturday.